so with regard to winemaking, it's interesting because the first time I stepped into Lodi, I was actually here buying grapes for a winery that I represented in Napa. And I was often invited into people's barns to drink their home wine. And
oh, the horror.
Oh, the horror. And what I started hearing were the stories of all these old wineries that had gone defunct, and there had been quite a lot of wineries, and the number had attrition down to just a few.
Were these wineries post-prohibition?
Well, that's a good question. I'm not exactly sure. Certainly, many of them would have been wineries that had gone down during Prohibition. Others were, I know there were quite a few that had started up in the 40s, and then since it closed their doors through consolidation or being purchased by other larger wineries. And so by the time I entered in the Lodi scene, there were really about 5 major players, of which only 3 had facilities here in Lodi. And that was just, we're talking 15 years ago, and now there's over 100 wine brands, and there's a brand new wine culture. But I would argue that there was a wine culture here that went dormant, and now we're seeing the reemergence of that culture, right, which is really exciting.
Yeah, there's this explosion taking place here in terms of both people who have been selling their grapes, and multi-generational families like you mentioned, that are now saying, you know what, we want to put our name on a label and begin to share our wines that are being made from our vineyards with the world. And so we're seeing this explosion of wineries that are developing here. Those 5, 6, 7, 8 wineries that were here 15, 20 years ago, we're now at 85 wineries, 65 tasting rooms. We're really seeing this wine renaissance taking place here in Lodi, and both in terms of new wines being offered, new wineries opening, but also the new varieties of grapes that are being grown and the varietal wines that are being made from them. And that makes Lodi a very exciting place to be right now, both be and come and visit.
And just not to steal your thunder, but it's also, you just ended on visit, and just it's an amazing place to visit because you have great facilities, you have great restaurants, and we discussed this today amongst the wine writers I'm here with, when you go to a winery here, you're talking to the last name, you're talking to the son or the daughter or the father, somebody who's intimately involved. And when we were discussing it, we were commenting on the authenticity and the really welcoming feeling and the idea that people wanted to share something with you. And we came to the conclusion that that's just the way it is. This is not some press facade. There's no handling. There's been no marketing lessons for anybody. So when you come down here, you're going to get the same reception, and it's just fantastic to be able to come to someplace, and a lot of the wineries are adjacent to or close to their homes, and you really feel like you're stepping into the past, and B, into somebody's home, and it's a blast to be here because if you come back in 10 years or 20 years, things are going to change. Downtown's going to be at 40 wine tasting rooms, and so you're getting in, as you said, very exciting time. There's a lot of experimenting going on. There's a lot of things as a wine lover to discover that you would never suspect is here in Lodi.
Right. I always joke around. There's a lot of folks that play the Creedence Clearwater Revival song about being stuck in Lodi, and I think they were just absolutely ahead of their time because this is a great place to be stuck, and it's a good opportunity to really take and come and experience what we see as extensions of our homes. Truthfully, the tasting rooms and the wineries are extensions of our family's histories and heritages and their homes, and that's how many of these folks feel.
And they're proud of it.
Absolutely.
There's a real Lodi pride.
Absolutely.
Oh, there is, and there is something that I had referred to the other night is the cohesiveness of this area. I've been very fortunate to be able to either farm directly in or visit a lot of wine grape growing regions in the world. And I have to say that Lodi is on the top of the list when it comes to growers trying to find common solutions. Mm-hmm. And I think IPM, integrated pest management, I think sustainability, I think the idea of sharing wine styles and understanding how to grow these new varieties, that openness that exists here is something that hopefully will persist into the future because it's a really beautiful experience from our point of view.